It is musical chairs at the moment, isn't it, as to who is on the hot seat in the Premier League. Of course, Arteta had his bum burnt rather badly over the last few weeks. But he got out of jail today, Craig, and he did it with a side that wasn't particularly familiar to us. No Willian, no David Luiz because of COVID protocol. Aubameyang on the bench. The youngsters came in and Arsenal got it done.
Yeah, just to briefly backtrack slightly on Shaka's point, which I think is very valid. That last year, a few of these results would have been swatted away. But when you spend your ownership have spent the best part of 300 million, then all of a sudden the scrutiny is really, really on you, and that's the Chelsea scenario. Yeah, he's almost harnessing his inner Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, isn't he, Mikel Arteta, where at some points during his tenure, Solskjaer, it looked as if he was 1 or 2 games away from being really under the microscope, and he's got results. This kind of, it feels like that. And listen, he got his team to sing a tune for him today, which he absolutely needed. But don't mistake this for being some managerial genius tactician in selection, because this is a club that have got 3 senior players not suffering from COVID, but having to be left out because of a COVID scenario. That was Gabriel, Willian, and there was David Luiz. They're also missing Thomas Partey. So some of these kids were kind of thrown in. This shape of team was kind of thrown together. But sometimes when that happens, you actually find out about other players in your squad. And we know Martinelli's had injury problems, but he's a good young player, really good young player. Shaka's been another player who stood up once again. And young Emile Smith-Rowe came in and was really busy in that position behind Lacazette. On top of that, and I keep pointing this out, I really think Kieran Tierney epitomises the attitude and desire and drive that this Arsenal team need. And we saw it once again. So, and even Granit Xhaka with that free kick, he's been much maligned with his disciplinary problems, with the way he's been playing. It was a brilliant set piece. And they took advantage of this Chelsea team. It should have been the opposite. It should have been Chelsea taking advantage with the potential to go second of this weak Arsenal team with some youngsters in there, with a back four that probably has hardly ever played together. But they didn't. It was Arsenal that took advantage of Chelsea's complacency and somewhat Chelsea's arrogance, thinking they can just go in there, swan about and win. And it was a brilliant win. Listen, it could have been more when you think about some of the chances Arsenal had as that second half went on. And I know Jorginho missed a penalty, but Arsenal did create other chances in the second half. So it was a surprising result and surprising day, but it was a big day for Arteta.
So how do we read this, Frank? Is this a turning point for Arsenal's season, or they just came up against a team that had a very, very bad day?
You have to consider the fact that Chelsea was very, very bad, but you have to give credit, because I like the reaction of the Arsenal players. They reacted as men. Their coach were in danger and could have been out of the business, if they have lost. And they stood up and they did what they had to do. They had a little bit of luck as well on the Shaka's goal, but you create that. When you are with the right temper, you create the chance, you create the character, and it's what they did. And they've been perfect everywhere in all the park, and that was absolutely perfect. So, will it be a turning point? Hopefully for the Gunners, for the fans, and for the club. But I think we need more than one game to make sure that they're going to be back on track, even if they are late, But I think it's for the confidence, it's definitely very good 3 points.
Jack?
Here's the thing, Dan. Aubameyang doesn't go back in the side, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Aubameyang was out with a tight calf. He was on the bench, but he had a tight calf. But he hasn't been playing well. He hasn't been playing well. And listen, we know Shaka's been really good for Arsenal. We know Martinelli, when we see him, is only 19, but he's a talent. And I'd rather go out and see these youngsters. If I'm going to be on the hot seat and I might or might not lose my job, I'd rather do it with people running about, putting the effort in, fighting and scrapping and trying to get the victory like they did today, than go out with some big hitters who've signed new contracts swanning about. So, I heard people talking about it today, when David Luiz is available, when Gabriel's available, when all this, that and the others available, would they go back in the team? No, you do not change this team. This is a team that have just swatted away Chelsea by 3-1 in one of the biggest games of their season, with some youngsters in the team. So you're going to have to stay in the bench because these guys have performed for me, and I would be shocked if come the Brighton game, Aubameyang or any of the others are back in this side.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.